And now, a Firesign Theater interlude.
Hello, we're glad you made it. Welcome to the future!
Oh, and I thought this rollaway chair was going to be the bomb. Apparently not. Oh, this one too. Yeah, here we go. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Welcome to the garage. Let's tilt this up so you can see me a little better. That didn't do anything, did it? No, it didn't. My first Cyclesmith track day is on the 6th of May, and I still have an absolute ton to do. And with any luck, you'll see this one before we get to the track on the 6th of May. But the thing is, I have a ton of stuff to do to get ready for that track day. And not only because I have, in fact, purchased another vehicle to replace my ratty old HHR, which, even though it would have dragged the bike to the track on the trailer that I bought, it is not optimal. So one thing we got to do today is get rid of this. This is the license plate bracket. It also holds this little partial fender here that is designed to keep the tire from throwing road spray up on the back of the rider. Since we'll be on the track, we kind of don't care about that a little bit. The other thing that I want to do is swap this sprocket on there. This is a 43 tooth sprocket as opposed to the 45 tooth sprocket that is stock on the Vitpilen, because I think it might give me a little more top speed down the front straight at Thompson, and it might help me stay out of the rev limiter on some of the short straightaways where I just want to crank the throttle and not have to shift gears. So this taller sprocket may help that a little bit. So we're going to do that. And the other thing that I want to do is get this all done today on the 15th of April. So let's move some cameras around, let's drag out a bunch of tools, and let's get cracking. Before we get too involved here, I'll show you one thing that I've already done. Because this bike is just going to be track dedicated, it doesn't need passenger pegs. So knowing that I did not need passenger pegs, but I still need the mounting point for the muffler, I just grabbed my fabulous Ryobi reciprocating saw and I cut the passenger foot peg mount off. Boink. And then I smoothed it off with my flap disc, and that's that. So now let's move on over to the other side and begin the disassembly of the license plate bracket. Okay, whoops. I have consulted the scrolls. Let's stop the video for a moment so that I can explain a thing. Whenever I say I'm consulting the scrolls, I am of course talking about my Vitpilen factory service manual. But the factory service manual that I have is for a 2019 model year Vitpilen, not the 2022 model year that my bike is. And even though they are functionally the same machine, there are some detail differences in wiring and where connectors are located. I found some of that out when I had the headlight off and I was messing around inside the wiring and enclosure behind the headlight when I put the clip-ons on. And I'm gonna find that out again in this segment of the video. So let's follow along and you'll see what I'm talking about. And it looks like I gotta do this. And in you go. For you. Whoa. We have 3 different sizes of hex keys. Wait, is this the right one? No, it is not. But I bet this one is. So it is. There is, in fact, another screw right there. There's a screw right down in there that I'm not going to deal with. Not right yet. I need to get over on that side and see what's doing. This is a job for borescope. Here we have, a cable clip. That can get undone. Boom. And then we have another cable clip right here. Yeah, right here. Pull the wire out of that. Now, why won't the chain guard come off? Ah, okay. There's one Phillips head screw. There's the shock absorber. And there's another Phillips head screw. There's a zip tie, and there's a nut right there. So we got to do a screw there, and a screw there, and get in there and nick a zip tie, and then undo that nut. All right. There we go. The chain guard is a mess because it's covered with chain lube. We did get the chain guard removed, but now what I got to do is chase this thing up to where it plugs in. It plugs into a connector up there under here, under where the gas tank is. So I'm pretty sure I got to take all this bodywork off. So what do you say we get that make that happen? Pretty sure it doesn't need the passenger grab handle. So bye-bye! Don't need that anymore. What do you say we take all the bodywork off? I think that's a good idea. So, of course, what we have here are stainless steel screws that are non-magnetic. So we will do the best we can to drag them out. There's one. Oh, good. There we go. And there we go. There's one. There it is. Well, I did it. Ta-da. The bodywork is off. How about that? There we go. Okay, so we're looking at the wire that goes to the license plate light. Goes up here, goes up there, past the throttle body with the wire throttle. There's the wire. Let's go in here. There is also the wire, and according to my 2019 service manual, I'm supposed to undo that white connector right there. That thing. That is the connector. Let's get in here a little bit better. There it is. Oh wait. What's what here? I need a headlamp. I have been poking around up in there with my headlamp, and apparently it does not appear this cable, which we know goes to the license plate light, has a connector up in there. You know, that 2019 manual is okay, but only okay. Let's fire up this thing again and I'll show you what I'm talking about. What I discovered is, see that junction right there with the what looks like fabric tape around it? That is, in fact, the junction for the wire that we are looking at that comes all the way down here and then travels across and goes back to the license plate bracket. That is the cable for the license plate light. But when we come up here, it is wired right into the harness. I do not see a connector that I can safely undo. What do you say we go pull that license plate bracket off and see if we can get inside it, and maybe there's a connector in there. Let's plug you into that. Oh, and then there we go. Alrighty, now aha! And there it is, my friends. There's the connector that we must undo. There's another zip tie that we must nick. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. There we go. Bye-bye. And then, after all that, ta-da! Yeah. Apparently between 2019 and 2022, they changed this cable and made it so that it's got a connection at the license plate light. I was just operating under a false assumption. The bracket is gone. So now what we're gonna do, which will be extra fun, is put on, whoops, some track stand spools. First, let's open up the fasteners. Yeah, I know, it's a tiny Ziploc bag, don't care. These are the correct thread, right? No, they are not. I hate when that happens. Oh, you filthy beggar. That's the correct thread, isn't it? I did buy another pair of track stand spools, but I like these better. These are beefier than the other ones I bought. Let's see. Are these? Of course I'm going to have to modify them. We're going to drill these out so that this bolt fits, because the hole in it is not quite big enough. And I want to use these rather than these. As you can see, these are way beefier. So looks like we've got to do some modification. I have, in fact, made all the modifications necessary. Looks good, yeah. And the other thing that we're going to do is put some blue Loctite on it. There we go. Nice. Full tilt boogie. Here we go. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Pretty sure that's on there forever. That, and we like this, and up we go. Mint. Okay, now let's get this back wheel off of here. Well, the buttons work pretty great, but I did have to turn the forks around, as you can see, because with them in the other orientation, I could not get at the chain adjuster, which is stupid. So there we go. There. Whoops. One down, one to go. I'm going to stay out here until Pammy calls me in for dinner. Okay, now the wheel speed sensor. Whose idea was that? There's the wheels. Good. There's the wheel. Oh, and it's held in place with the bleeder cap. There we go. Put you over there because that's good. There we go. And remember when I said I didn't like using my impact guns on motorcycles? Yeah, I've kind of gotten over that nonsense, right? Right. There we go. There we go. There's that. I'm done. The chain comes off. And the wheel comes out. There we go. Cool. Whoops. Try not to roll down the driveway, even though I've already done it once today. So one of the perfect things to set a wheel on to work on and not damage the brake disc on the other side is an old car tire. And because I'm an idiot who changes car tires himself out in his driveway with spoons, I have a couple of those laying around. We are going to impact these off of here, but we're going to put them on with a torque wrench because that's what's intended. And ta-da! There's the stock Husqvarna 45 tooth sprocket. Now, these bolts are captured. They're not studs, those are bolts. And they are captured. There. And perfect. We will thread these on. There. Now, the book says 18.4 foot-pounds, so we're going to go to 20. And it says to use Loctite 243, but I ain't doing that. There we go. Doing it in a cross pattern. And there we have our 43 tooth sprocket. Now, what do you say we put that thing back in there? It looks like I'm adjusting the chain, but what I'm doing here is making sure that the axle is perpendicular to the swing arm. I measure from one of the alignment marks on the axle block to a hard point on the end of the swing arm. I measure it on each side and then use the adjusters to even it out. And once it's evened out, I will tighten the axle bolt. And that means that the axle is parallel to the swing arm pivot. And if it's parallel to the swing arm pivot, which can be assumed to be perpendicular to the center line of the bike, then the rear axle is perpendicular to the center line of the bike, which means the rear tire is aligned with the center line of the bike. Once I go to do the final adjustment of the chain tension, I can count flats on each adjuster bolt individually and then maintain that perpendicularity to a very fine degree. And so off we go into the continuation of the reassembly of the track-dedicated Vitpilen 401. Okay, it's dark out the windows now. As you can see. And what I've done now is put my headlamp on so it's easier to see. I took the license plate light wire and I ran it through the frame, zip tying it to various frame tubes, and then putting it behind this bodywork until it comes out here, and then I just kind of looped it around, and here's the connector end of it. As you can see, I have taken the bodywork off, so I got to put that back on now, and then we're going to put the chain guard back on because I'm not super enamored of the idea of getting chain lube thrown up on me. Plus, there's this area right here where the chain just, my foot's here and the chain's right there, and yeah, I just want to keep my foot away from that if I at all possibly can. So the chain guard is going to go back on. Let's take care of that right now. That chain's a little tight, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's supposed to be 5 to 7 millimeters, and that's way too tight right there. It's touching right now. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. 3 flats is 1/2 rotation. Do that. There. Do the same thing on the other side. One, 2, 3, 4. And we hit the door just once for good measure. Yeah, that's right up in there. Right up in there, good. Okay. Oh, that feels way better. Rotating much more freely. There. There. Let's check the chain tension. Yeah. Yeah, that feels good. Whoa. Yeah. That is definitely 5 to 7 millimeters. And torque it. Just that. Torque wrench. We like 70. Lock the torque wrench. And away we go. There we go. I pronounce that chain adjusted. So I think we're good for tonight, don't you? I do. The Vitpilen has been denuded of all its street legal gear, the mirrors, the horn, front turn signals, rear turn signals, and license plate bracket. The headlight has been disconnected from the harness, and under the seat I pulled fuse number 5, which is the fuse for all the lighting, and that's so I could turn off the tail light and the brake light. So that's that. Anybody needs any spare parts, just give me a holler. So that's the story. The bike's ready for the track. Pretty happy about that. I'm looking forward to it. I have to admit that I'm a little nervous because the last time I was at the track, I crashed my brains out. With any luck, the weather will be sunny and nice, or at least not wet. So as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you around the channel.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, my daddy, he raced stock cars a long, long time ago at New England's fastest quarter mile, doing on Westboro Road. He and Mom would rally around in their MGTD, but they bought a Porsche 356 to you, my mom, and me. I was raised by gearheads, this apple fell not far from under Daddy's tutelage, messing around with cars.
Welcome to the future.
All right.